I'm hiding behind the bushes, guys. We're in Target. Hello, so Aldo fam, welcome to my channel. On today's tutorial, I have another sewing for beginners for you guys. So today I am going to show you how I made this dress. I did a separate tutorials on the petals just because it was like time consuming, so I ended up separating it. So before we begin, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Click the notification as well so you will get notified whenever I post a new sewing tutorial. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I already constructed the bodice. I basically just joined the shoulder seams and sew it. I also did the same thing on the neck interfacing. I basically joined the shoulder seams and now I attach it on the neckline. Right sides of the fabrics are facing each other. If you want to make your own bodice patterns, I actually have a tutorial on how to do that. My process was a hack just because I just copied a dress that fits me really well and use it as my pattern. So if you are a beginner, this is a perfect project for you. I also have a separate tutorial on how to make your own petal sleeves. So if you haven't watched that, I'm going to have the link in the description box below. So today is going to be our first road trip of the year. After that, it's time to trim and grade the neckline. I'm trimming off about half of the seam allowance. Don't make it too short just because we are going to be understitching the neck facing on the seam allowance. You want to be able to have that extra fabric underneath. Now it's time to grade it. The reason for this is to release the tension along the curve of the neckline, so when you turn the facing over, it should lay flat and not wrinkle or pucker. Now it's time to understitch it. Basically, you are sewing as close to the seam as possible and be sure that the raw edge is facing up. And 9 hours later, I'm with my sister going to Target for a quick shopping trip. I also overlock the raw edges. If you don't have one, you can use a narrow zigzag stitch or you can double fold it or roll the hem. It will also work. Now it's time to join the side seams. Be sure that the petals are facing each other so when you put it in the armhole of the dress, they will go on the same direction. If you're just using a basic sleeve, you don't have to worry about it. And if you don't have a basic sleeve pattern yet, I have a tutorial for that. I'm going to have the link in the description box below so you can go ahead and watch that tutorial. So now it's time to add or put the sleeve on the armhole. Okay, so first I'm going to turn it like this because you should be putting it right sides together and find the center fold of the fabric. Okay, so that's the fold. I marked it right here. So just be sure to mark the center fold of the sleeve so it's much easier for you to match it on this on the shoulder seam. So center fold on the shoulder seam and then clip it. And remember, we basted it so we can easily ease it in. Okay, I always like to find the seams first. Okay, so that's that. So match those first and then we are going to ease it in. So basically I'm just going to lightly gather the sleeve. So now that it fits, I'm just going to sew it all the way around. After that, I realized that I want the sleeves shorter, so I ended up cutting it in half. And here I am editing my pattern, so next time I will know that the sleeves are going to be this length instead. Now it's time to add the circle skirt bottom. I have a tutorial on how to make this pattern. It is super easy. I have a tutorial on how to make your own circle skirt pattern. I will have the link in the description box below. To sew it from here all the way to the other end. So let's go ahead and do that. This step is optional, but I am top stitching the waistline of the dress just because one of my dress from J. Crew has this detail and I thought it looks so nice, so I decided to try it on this sewing project. Using an invisible zipper, I already have a tutorial on how to do that. I'm just going to have the link in the description box below, so you can go ahead and watch that. So that was a detailed tutorial. So I decided to make a matching face mask for this dress just because I can. Plus, I have plenty of leftover fabric, so I decided why not. And plus, this is 100% cotton, which makes a perfect face mask just because it is very breathable. I already have a bunch of face mask tutorials already. I'm just going to have them linked in the description box below like everything else that I have been mentioning all day. You have this option to leave this one end open so you can put a filter inside, but honestly I don't ever put filter in my face mask, so I didn't bother. Then I put the elastic in and it is about 7 inches long. I knot the ends to secure it and it's done. Let's go back to the easy dress tutorial, shall we? Now I am going to finish the back seam. Someone asked me how to prevent that puckering right here when you sew the zipper, like on the end of the zipper. If you installed an invisible zipper in the past, you will know what I'm talking about. That sometimes you can get like puckering on the outside of the fabric because of this, right? This is the end of the zipper and this is the 5/8 seam allowance all the way to the hemline. You are going to sew 6/8 instead. So we're going to sew from here just right outside that 5/8 of an inch all the way down. Okay, there you go. So as you can see here, there is no puckering on the bottom here. I just need to iron it, okay? So that's the end of the zipper. I'm going to fold it and then fold it one more time. Going to hand stitch that, and I'm also going to tack the facing so it doesn't flippity plop. So that's that. I'm just going to do that. So basically same thing here. Make sure I'm also going to serge the raw edges later. So that's that. And what's left to do is hem. So that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed this simple tutorial. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!